Hey guys, hope you're having a great Labor Day weekend. Just wanted to take a moment and talk about what I've been seeing with the new construction opportunities out there. I know I've been talking a lot about it, and I'm actually going to make this live so that I can turn my camera around and show you some screens on my computer and look at a couple of things that I've been seeing and what I've been running into. So first and foremost, I have been seeing rates somewhere around 4.25 up to 4.875 with most of my new construction homes. Now they're inventory homes, which means they're homes that have been sitting for a little while, or they're quick move in. In other words, they're going to be moving in quick, and that's within the next 30 to 45 days. Now with those types of homes, you don't necessarily get the opportunity to like change the backsplash or change the paint colors or anything like that. You can obviously do that after you move in, but for some of the incentives that you're getting, it might be worth it. So first and foremost, they are offering huge incentives. Most of your closing costs, which sometimes can be between 4 and 5% of your total home purchase, they're basically paying for. And I've seen this across the board. I've closed 3 in the last 2 or 3 months. I've actually got 1 under contract right now, and I showed homes this weekend to 2 new home buyers that are also looking at new construction, inventory homes that again have been sitting. And for them, they were getting in the 4s. And these are 30-year fixed. This is not a buy down. This is actual 30-year fixed rates. Now, some of that comes from flex cash that the builders are giving. And the conversation I had with my 2 homeowners this weekend is to help them understand, or home buyers, to help them understand what's happening is, in essence, builders are very much in control of the market. They're in control of the housing market. I've been saying this for a long time, probably for the last 2 years, but it's been really heavy for probably the last year especially. And I'm going to show you some things on my computer in just a minute that I want you to look at that will help illustrate this and help you understand this right now. So I'm going to try and flip my camera around. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, there it goes. So this is perfect. So this is on the top. You're going to see the average mortgage rate for the last 10 years. And what you can see is, I'll try and move my mouse around in it so you can see it. We saw this 8% or close to 8% toward the end of last year, right? So we saw some of these 8% figures going into 2024, and then of course it started to creep down a little bit. And what I've put right here is the 4.5%, which is what I have been getting on average with my new construction home buyers. Now, this is going with their builder lender, which a lot of people don't want to do, which I completely understand that, but I can only give you, I got to spit facts right now, and this is what's happening. So what I also wanted you to see though is this, the resale, which is basically your average homeowner who's selling their house. It's not a new construction, and their prices. And those are somewhere on the average of around $550,000 right now. And this is where the average is for most new construction, around $450,000. That's $100,000 difference, 20% difference basically. And these are the rates that I've been getting. Now, this is the part that I want to show you. Over the last 2 years, as rates have gone up, sellers, traditional home sellers, have tried to stay strong. And we could look at another chart that would show the inventory that's out there. But what did home builders do? They dropped their prices massively. And then the other thing that you see that they've done is offering these major opportunities to get great interest rates. So one of the things I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you basically a rough calculator that I use with Lawyer's Title. And it's showing a $400,000 house. We're going to work with that number. That's a $400,000 house with just a conventional loan, because I want apples to apples with our numbers. And you can see the interest rate is around 6.375 right now. Their payment will be about $3,540. Now, this part over here is subjective because they're getting a lot of that covered. And that's one of the reasons that the new construction is so strong for a lot of people and such a great opportunity. Now, I'm going to show you this. This is what your payment is with a 4.5% average. And we're just using the same 5% down payment because I wanted to use a rough number. But look at the difference. A payment of $3,095 versus $3,500. What could you do with $500 a month? No, it's a big deal. So what I wanted you to see was this, because this is how it's affecting most of my home buyers when they're going to look at new construction. Now, I also want to show you, let's say that you said, hey, Alan, I would be happy paying $3,500. How much could I afford? Now, right now you can see that's $400, but I went ahead and moved that number around to make it $3,500-ish. And you can see that you could afford almost up to $460,000. That is a 14 or 15% difference. So imagine going into a subdivision and you can only afford a $400,000 house, and then you find out, hey, I might be able to afford $460,000. That's a big deal. That is everything from better countertops, potentially hard surfaces on the floors instead of carpet. There's a lot of things that can buy you, right? And this has been what I just showed you is what most of my home buyers are running into right now. Now, I'm going to spit a couple other facts with you right now too, though. If you want to be in a specific subdivision for a specific school, or you want to be next to your best friend, or you want to be next to mom or dad, or you want to, have family or friends live nearby, and you've got to move into a different subdivision that doesn't have new construction, obviously this doesn't come into play. So you're making decisions based on how much your affordability is versus the convenience of being right next to one of your close friends or family members or something like that. So this is not for everyone. I'm just saying right now, the new construction, especially inventory homes, are huge opportunities for people because, I'm going to say it again, first and foremost, the incentives. And the incentives a lot of times can go either toward your lending costs, your closing costs, your out-of-pocket costs on that side, or toward, in some cases, you can pay that toward your down payment. It just depends on the builder and the incentive that they're offering. And one of the ways that they're doing that is instead of incentivizing the lending side, they say, hey, instead of that house being $450,000, we can't give you a better interest rate. We're going to drop the house price to $400,000 for you. And I've had this happen 3 times in the last couple of months. 3. For every single one of my home buyers. It's one of the two. And then one that I was actually looking at yesterday, I went out with 2 different home buyers yesterday. I was looking at some homes over in the Denton area, and they were basically giving the money toward either side. So it was like $25,000 flex cash to do whatever they wanted to do with it. And they were a veteran, which means they had 0 down. So the cool thing about that is their closing costs get paid for. And if you're a veteran, you could actually use that money and pay it down on the down payment and actually lower your monthly payment. So that's pretty cool. So there are opportunities out there. And if you are in the market, and you don't have to be in a specific neighborhood where you're going to have to buy a resale home, then there are opportunities with new construction. And I've been saying this to every single home buyer that I take out right now as I ask them, I ask them a very simple question. Is this going to be your forever home? And if it's not, which for the average person it's not, you're basically going to be in your house about 7 years. It used to be 4. It's gone up a little bit because of the interest rates, but the average person still stays in their house about 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years. So this is not your forever home. Try and get the best opportunities you can. And the subdivisions I looked at this weekend, if you live in them for 2 years, even though they're an HOA, you can actually use them for an investment property after 2 years. So you can move out, move into another house, keep that as an investment property and have cash flow. So there's opportunities out there. And again, this is not for everyone. I realize that a lot of people need to move into a subdivision because of a certain school. They have friends or family that they want to live near. But if you are open to opportunity, if you're open to, maybe even being a little bit farther out, there are huge opportunities, not just to get a better price point, but also to get a little more acreage. So you might actually be able to get like 1/3 of an acre or 1/2 an acre. And I've seen this over and over between here and Van Alstyne. So if you're open, if you maybe work from home or you work from home periodically or a couple of days a week, the opportunities are out there. We just have to go find them. Now, the cool thing about some of these opportunities, and I had one 2 months ago where we were actually going into a subdivision. The house fell out of contract. One of the other homeowners who was buying the home decided not to buy the house, and I don't know all the reasons. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. They had it listed somewhere around $755, somewhere in that range. They ended up selling it to them for $730. Fell out of contract. We went in and we said, hey, do you think there's any more room with the house? And while we were standing there, we literally all negotiated $703,000. So that's a $50,000 difference. There are opportunities out there. You have to have the right person on your team. Let me know if I can help you with this. If you have any further questions, and I know Not everyone's going to agree with what's happening with our market right now, but the opportunities are out there if you have to move. And the biggest thing that I tell people is everybody's got to have a place to live. You can either be paying somebody else rent for it, or you can go buy your own house and build your own equity. So let's find your place. And if I can help you with that, let me know. Okay. Appreciate you guys.